Hello students, it's session 3, class 11, subject English. Our discussion is continue on the fourth unit of Hornbill, that is landscape of the soul. Landscape of the soul. Written by Nathalie Trower. Written by Nathalie Trower. In earlier session, friends, we learned different two stories. One that of Wu Daojis, who was commissioned to prepare a painting for Tang Emperor Zhuangzong. He simply observes the painting with outer view. He doesn't try to, get the artist mind. When Wu Daoji, tried to show the meaning, it disappears, the story, the pictures and caves, and finally painter also disappears. The other story is that of painter Quinton Matsey, blacksmith. He was not accepted as son-in-law since he was a blacksmith. But when he drew a fly which was real like, and the father, tried to sweat it, thinking that it is the real one. He was highly impressed with this art and he was accepted as his son-in-law as well as his disciple. So these were the two stories presenting two different type of arts, Chinese arts and European arts. In Chinese art, viewers should reach to painter's artist mind, while in European art, the viewer should, try to see the art, the painting with a painter's eyes, using borrowing painter's eyes. These were the, features of these two arts. And then we came to the point that on what is the basis of this art, on what base this art are created, that horizontal and vertical. There are mainly two features in each art. What are they? Let us discuss in detail. This concept is expressed as shanshui. As shanshui, important word. Literally, it means mountain and water. Two elements. Means in this art, you will find the fundamental, basis is horizontal and vertical in form of two elements, mountain and water, which used together, when these two elements are used together, represents the word landscape. It makes a landscape, it makes a story, that gives a message. More than two elements of an image, these represent two complementary poles reflecting the Taoist view of the universe. What is Taoism? What is Taoist philosophy in art? So Taoist philosophy, presents two elements, that all universe, is depend on two elements, masculine and feminine. So his landscapes are prepared based on these two elements. Here they are mountain and water. The mountain is young, reaching vertically towards heaven. You see that mountain is high and it's vertical. See, standing and sleeping. Two more is found in Taoism, in Taoist art. Here mountain is young, it is called young. It reaches to sky heaven vertically, and it has quality like stability. Mountain is stable, it is warm, and it's dry in the sun. So these are the qualities presented through mountain, and ultimately, getting these qualities only, and ultimately it result into a message only. So friends, first element which is present, which is found in Chinese art, which is based on Dao, it is mountain, which represents stability, warmth, and dryness in the sun. While the water, the second element, let us know what does the second element represent. The second element, water, it is called yin. It is called in mountain yang and water yin. It is horizontal. In sleeping form it is found, and resting on the earth. Resting on the, friends, horizontal and vertical. Ultimately it covers the space only. Now this second element, water, presents the qualities like fluid, moist, and cool. See, opposite to this, mountain had stability. It is stable, it is warm, and it is dry. While water, fluid, moist, and cool. The intersection of yin, the receptive, feminine aspect of universal energy. Water represents feminine aspect, and mountain presents masculine aspect. The whole universe, base is created through these two elements only, feminine and masculine. So it is found in Chinese art, and the basis of Chinese art is these two elements only. Water represents feminine aspect of universal energy, and its counterpart yang, money, mountain, it's active and masculine. Active and masculine is of course a fundamental notion of Taoism. Of Taoism. What is often overlooked is an essential third element. Friends, sometimes a third element also is added. Main these two elements. You call it horizontal, vertical, mountain, water, masculine, feminine. Each and every object, is placed there either representing masculine or a feminine. But sometimes third element is also added in this art. It is called the middle void. It means emptiness, where their interaction takes place, interaction between these two elements, masculine feminine, mountain and water. When they interact, and they try to connect with each other, creating a story, creating a message, there is space between them. Interaction where take place, it is emptiness. This can be compared with the yogic practice of pranayama. Let us try to know this space between these two where interaction take place. And for that, the example of pranayam is presented before us, yogic practice of pranayam. See how. Breathe in. When breath is taken inside, inhaling, retain it for some time. Then breathe out. Breathe in, retain, and breathe out. The suspension of breath is the void. When the breath is suspended, this emptiness is called void, where meditation occurs. There, where there is no movement, there is no movement. You are neither inhaling, neither exhaling, but the space between these two is called the void, is called the void. And this is the point where interaction, take place, meditation occurs. Nothing can happen without it. Nothing can happen without it. Means third element in the art is essential, is must, is necessary. Hence the importance of the white unpainted space in Chinese landscape is found. Third element is found in Chinese landscape. Let us now try to know this third element, third art. This is also where man finds the fundamental role. In that space between heaven and earth, he becomes the conduit. Conduit means channel, link of communication between both poles of the universe. His presence is essential, even if it's only suggested, but it is essential. This void, this emptiness, far from being lost or oppressed by the lofty peaks. Lofty means towering, which touches sky. He is in Francois Cheng's wonderful expression. Even then, it is presented in Francois Cheng's wonderful expression. It is called the eye of the landscape. The eye of the landscape. It seems like the eyes in the landscape, they are the third element. The article which we discussed, getting these two arts, and then after third element, void, emptiness, it is necessary. This article was accepted from Landscape of the Soul, Ethics and Spirituality in Chinese Paintings. And this article is written after edition, after some modification, it is slightly edited. So this was the unit, friend, and the article we discussed, which was by Nathalie Provroy. Now let us study one more article which is attached with this unit. Getting inside outsiders art. Friends, here we are going to discuss third art. See, we learnt Chinese art and Western art, and they are created based on two main elements, masculine and feminine, and third element is there also, which is necessary, and it is presented as eyes of universe. Here the third type of art we are going to discuss. Chinese and Western arts, it is presented by, trained persons, painters, artists who have knowledge of art. Here, third type of art, it is called outsider art, which is created by untrained person who has least knowledge of art. But even then, such arts are found in the world. So let us try and get inside this outsider art. When French painter Jean Dubuffet, French painter, mooted. Moot means to raise an issue for debate. Jean Dubuffet mooted the concept of art brut. Art brut का मतलब होता है raw art, the art which is not perfect. And this concept was, raised by Jean Dubuffet. He brought this concept of raw art, the art which is not perfect, which is made in haphazard manner. So when he raised the issue of art brut, it was time In 1940s, art brut means raw art. The art of the untrained visionary was of minority interest. This art was not accepted at that time. But Jean Dubuffet thought that it should be considered, included in the category of art. Since these arts also have some, meanings, though they are prepared by untrained person, but even then, it is not waste. So, Jane Dubuffet, mooted raised the issue of this art, and at that time, this art was of minority interest. Least people interest this art. From its almost wild beginning, very pale beginning, very slow beginning of this art, outsider art has gradually become the fastest growing area of interest. Steadily, this art became very famous. Gradually, slowly, this art became fastest growing area of interest in contemporary art. What is contemporary art? The art challenging tradition. The art which is created not by not following traditions. These arts are completely against the tradition, and this art became fastest growing. People started taking interest in this art, though initially it was not that much famous, but steadily it became very famous internationally. Outsider art. This genre means style of art. This category of art is described as the art of those who have no right to be artists. This art is described as the art of those who have no right to be artists. The people, the person, the creature who should not should not be called artist, no right to be artist. Why? As they have received no formal training of art. Since these people who prepares this outsider art, they have not got any formal training, technical training, they have no right to be called artist, yet show talent. Even then, this art has something to know. This art needs talent, yet show talent and artistic insight. Their work are a stimulating contrast to a lot of mainstream offsprings. Around the time Dubuffet was propounding his concept, propounding his concept, propound means put forward an idea. This concept, he was, putting his effort to highlight this concept. At that time in India, what was the situation in India and what was the place of this outer side art? Was it famous in India or not? An untutored genius was creating paradise. During this time, when Dubuffet was propounding his concept of outsider art, in India, an untutored genius, he was creating a paradise. Years ago, the little patch of jungle that he began clearing to make himself a garden. See what paradise he is creating. Little patch of jungle he began clearing to make himself a garden. He cleared a patch of jungle and made a garden sculpted with stone. This garden is different completely. It was sculpted with stone and recycled material. The material used in this creation was stone and recycled material. is known to the world today as the Rock Garden at Chandigarh, Punjab. Today, this creation is known as Rock Garden, and this was created in India when Dabu Fett was propounding this concept of outsider art, third art. In India, the work on this art was going on in form of a garden, and this garden is known as Rock Garden. Who prepared this garden? Untutored genius. Let us know him, his name. Here is the garden, friends. You can see here a rock garden sculpture made of broken bangles by Nag Chen. Who is this untutored genius? Nag Chen. Nag Chen prepared this garden using waste material, recycled material, stone. Here is the garden. It is outside example of outsider art. It's 80-year-old creator director Nag Chen. Nag Chen, 80-year-old creator and director, is now called as India's biggest contributor to outsider art. The credit to develop to propagate this outsider art goes to Nag Chen, 80-year-old. He is called the biggest contributor to outsider art. The 50th issue, named Spring 2005 of Raw Vision, is the magazine, UK-based magazine, pioneer in outsider art. This magazine, is pioneer in publishing, propagating, highlighting outsider art. This magazine features Nag Chen. This magazine, printed an article on Nag Chen and his rock garden sculpture. And the name of this article was given Women by the Waterfall. So this magazine, which is UK based, which is pioneer in outsider art publication, it was the 50th issue of Raw Vision, in which the article on Nag Chen was published. Women by the Waterfall on its anniversary issue cover. This magazine edition was anniversary issue cover, means anniversary edition, which is published. In this edition, the article on Nag Chen was published, means the honor was given to this person, and somehow importance to this outsider art was also given. The notion of art brut means raw art. Art brut means raw art. It can be asked in MCQ. The notion of art brut or raw art was of works that were in their raw state as regards culture and artistic influences. Anything and everything from a tin to a sink to a broken down car could be material for a work of art. For this art, any material can be used. Best out of waste, what we call. Anything from a tin or a sink, or it could be a broken down car. This material is used to make this outsider art, and Nag Chen had used this wasted material. Something Nag Chen has taken to dizzying height. To achieve these heights, Nag Chen used this type of material no one can imagine, but he could do using this vast material, and set an example of outsider art. Recognizing his art as an outstanding testimony of the difference a single man can make. What a single man can make. when he lives his dream. The Swiss Commission for UNESCO will be honoring him, the other honor to this person, nation, by way of a European exposition of his work. UNESCO is going to expose his work in European countries. So this is the other, honor to nation, showing the people what a single man can do if he lives his dream. So this was an other honor given by UNESCO to nation. The 5-month interactive show on nation's work, Realm of Nature, titling Realm of Nation, beginning October, will be held at leading museum in Switzerland. In Switzerland, in their leading museum, interactive show on nation's work, titling Realm of Nation, will be presented in Switzerland, in Belgium, France, and Italy. And this way, the work by nation will be put before people in Europe. The biggest reward is walking through the garden and seeing people enjoy my creation. These are the words from Nation. Nation says, when people see my work and enjoy my creation, it gives me great relief, great satisfaction. It is the biggest reward for me which I get in form of contentment, satisfaction, seeing the people enjoying my creation. This article has been prepared by Brinda Suri and was published in Hindustan Times on 28th August 2005 on Outsider Art. Now friends, questions and answers based on this unit. First question. Contrast the Chinese view of art with the European view with example. Here we will contrast Chinese view of art and European view. We will also share examples for presenting each art. The Chinese form of art is based on imagination and shows inner and spiritual approach. Inner and spiritual approach of the artist. Friends, these are important words. Inner and spiritual approach होता है Chinese art में. Whereas the European art form is real and reproduces an actual view. Real होता है and वो actual view को reproduce करता है of the object from the landscape. This is the difference between Chinese view and European view of art. Explain the concept of Shan Shui. An important question, friends. Shan Shui is a Chinese concept of art, which means mountain water. Shan Shui means mountain water. It is used together to represent the world landscape. When these two elements are used together, it makes landscape. The two complementary poles, yin and yang. Yin and yang. Yang for mountain, yin for water. Of an image reflects the Taoist view. What do you understand by the term outsider art? An art group or raw art? Outsider art is the art made by untrained artists. Art group or raw art is a type of art made by people who are not professionals, but they create an art piece with their own depth and understanding. Though they are not professional, but uh, since they are depth observer, they have understanding, they create the art piece, and not from the stereotypical form of classical or fashionable art. Who was the untutored genius who created a paradise? And what is the nature of his contribution to art? Who was untutored genius who created a paradise in Chandigarh? And what is the nature of his contribution to art? Untutored genius who created a paradise was Nag Chand. He was an 80-year-old creator director who made the world famous Rock Garden in Chandigarh. He used everything from a tin to sink or anything which he felt as an art form. One of his famous creations are Women by the Waterfall. Women by the. That's it, friends. Here we complete this unit. Thank you.